next session, which is the welcoming speech by the presiding officers. So over to you, presiding officers. Nick, yes, Toastmaster Nick.
Thank you, Zoom Master. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the joint meeting of University Malaya Toastmasters Club and MAICSA Toastmasters Club. First of all, I would like to welcome all the members here from University Malaya Toastmasters Club and also MAICSA Toastmasters Club, our guests, if we have any tonight, and not to forget our Madam General Evaluator, Christine Teo. So the theme of tonight's meeting is preparing students for employment. I think our audience tonight is a combination of members who are still studying and already working, right? However, I feel like this theme is very close to our heart, even though we are already working. I still remember when I was job hunting after graduation, I saw a few advertisements on JobStreet, which stated fresh graduates are encouraged to apply to the job, and that fresh graduate must have a minimum of 3 years experience in that field. My thoughts at the moment, wow, employers can be really demanding, right? How can I have 3 years experience when I just graduated from university? At that time, I applied to the job, which has that kind of advertisement, even though my working experience is like 0. To my surprise, I got invited to an interview. And during the interview, the interviewer, who ended up being my boss, she didn't even look at my CGPA or any of my education certificates. She expressed to me that she's looking for someone who can work in a team and able to work in a fast-paced industry and also can work well under pressure. As a student or former student, we always think that all we need to do is study, take exams, and get good results. We don't realize that the program in university actually grooms the students to have problem-solving skills, communication skills, leadership skills, and also opportunities to work with others in a team. So to all students here, it's not too late to upgrade yourself before employment. In fact, you can also upgrade yourself during employment, just like everyone else who are working. We constantly upgrade ourselves. I hope that you will have the confidence and be brave to land your dream job. Dare to dream, dare to fly. Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to the Toastmaster of the evening. Some of you know him as Papa Vincent. May I invite distinguished Toastmaster Vincent to take the floor. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. President. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MAICSA and University Malaya joint Toastmasters meeting. Put your hands together and give yourself a big thunderous applause for being here and able to brave the rain and the thunderstorm out there, you know, and you are here safely in this very safe channel. Today, we are here for a purpose. Now, first of all, I'd like to welcome if there are any guests or non-Toastmasters. If they are in non-Toastmasters, please give yourself a thumbs up sign next to your corner of your Zoom channel. And if there are no non-Toastmasters, okay, now we see some of you are non-Toastmasters, welcome. I'd like to get your cooperation to rename yourself. Otherwise, you are already named as please rename yourself. Please do so that we can identify you and get connected with you even better. So can we just take 10 seconds to rename ourselves if we have not done so? Okay. Now, after doing that, we also highly encourage you to switch on the video so that we can really see you and you can see all our beautiful and handsome faces in this channel over here. So can we do so? Switch on the video, be recognized, and be inspired. So take on just another 5 seconds to do so. Don't worry, we are all very friendly over here. We won't swallow you. And in fact, if everyone can get connected, we can make this meeting a memorable meeting. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, while we are trying to switch on our camera and looking at the camera, where is our camera in our laptop? Sometimes we forgot where it's located. So find 3 seconds to do so. So ladies and gentlemen, this is MAICSA Toastmasters Club and University Malaya Toastmasters Club joint meeting. These two clubs has always been very close to my heart because I am very closely affiliated and also connected with these two clubs. First of all, the MAICSA Toastmasters Club is my home club. And secondly, University Malaya Toastmasters Club is the club that I have helped to charter. And it took many years to get it chartered. In fact, it took more than 4 years to get it chartered before it was finally chartered in 2004. So we hope that all the members and graduates, even alumni of the Malaya Toastmasters Club, will achieve greatness in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall not take on too much time of this introduction. Back to the Toastmasters meeting proper. Now, for the benefit of our guests who have just joined us and who has never been to a Toastmasters Club meeting, very quickly, Toastmasters Club was formed or is a brainchild of a Midwesterner back in 1924. And this gentleman by the name of Dr. Ralph C. Smedley coined the idea of bringing together a group of men, young men during that time, to explore and enhance their speaking skills. And they find that it's so beneficial, and so much so that this movement has already enlarged, and they finally got themselves registered under the California law. October 22nd, 1924, Toastmasters International Organization was finally chartered, and it just spread all around the world. Today, we see more than 4 million men and women around the world have benefited from the Toastmasters movement. And like I mentioned earlier, MAICSA Toastmasters Club and the University Malaya Toastmasters Club, we are just one of the many clubs, in fact, I think about 14,000 clubs around the world that has benefited from the Toastmasters program. What do? We do public speaking, we do evaluation, and in fact, it's just more than that. In fact, it is the wholesome training of leadership reality, where communication can help us to reach out to anyone in the world. And now, in fact, the last 2 years, with the advent of technology, and now Malaysia is embracing technology, we are so well connected to many more Toastmasters clubs around the world. So this is one of the most beautiful programs I've ever come across. And many Toastmasters clubs will keep sharing the benefit of the Toastmasters program. Now, along the way, you're going to see how this program will help you by looking at the meeting agenda. If you have not got the meeting agenda, maybe the Zoom master will help to share the piece of the meeting agenda over at the chat box over there. So make yourself comfortable, relax, and follow the program. And along the way, if you find that there is at least one aspect that makes your time memorable here, you have already benefited from this program, okay, just by being a guest. So ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to introduce the role players, and in Toastmasters, members speak. So there are certain role players who is going to help us to make our meeting even more effective. First of all, the technical role players who I would like to invite. First on the list is I'd like to invite the general evaluator, who is none other than Christine Teo, to introduce the role as the general evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Christine.
Thank you, Vincent. A very good evening, everyone. I'm Christine from CBIE KL Toastmaster, and let me read out my duties. As the general evaluator, I evaluate anything and everything that takes place throughout the meeting. I have a team of evaluators with me. They are table topic evaluator, project speech evaluators, and role players who shall provide their respective evaluation and report at their designated sessions. And I will provide you my feedback about the strength and areas of improvement for the club during my journal evaluator report session. And that's all for me. Over to you, Vincent.
Thank you, Christine, for your very brief and clear introduction of the role. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not too sure what a general evaluator does, just follow the program closely. You'll be able to understand as we move along. Now, the next role player I'd like to invite is none other than the R counter. You got it right, R counter. Let's put our hands together to welcome Rasmi, who is going to introduce the role of an R counter. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. I'm Rashmi from University of Malaya Toastmaster Club. As an R counter, my role today is to detect any overused words or filler sound by anyone who speaks during this meeting. Words may be inappropriate words such as well, so, but, and, like that. Sounds may like that. I will record each crutch words used by speakers and role players. I will present to you my report at the end of this meeting. And back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rasmi, for your kind introduction as a R counter. Now, interesting, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, next is the grammarian. Sometimes to welcome our grammarian for first half of the meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Leong Oi Wah, to introduce the role of a grammarian. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening, Vincent Ho. Very happy evening, everyone. This evening, as grammarian, I am to check on your usage of the English language. So I will report during the evaluation segment on the good usage of the language, as well as certain grammatical errors that may have occurred and how to make it better. At the same time, I encourage every one of the Toastmasters here and the speakers especially to use the word of the day. In the agenda right at the bottom, the word of the day is confidence, as you see it behind, or our virtual backdrop. The meaning of confidence is the quality of being certain of your abilities itself, or of having trust in people, plans, or the future. Example of usage of the word confidence: he has the confidence to walk into a room of strangers and immediately start a conversation. So I highly encourage you to use this very simple word, confidence. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster Leong Oi Wah, and I feel the motivation already to use the word confident. So yeah, let's use it whenever we can or whenever we try to speak. Next role player I'd like to invite is none other than the timekeeper or timer, as mentioned in the meeting agenda. Put your hands together to welcome Elaine Fu to introduce the role as the timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. As the timekeeper, I will keep track of the time. So for table topic speakers should limit their remark no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green light. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow light. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red light. Whereas for icebreaker speech, I will raise the green light at 4 minutes. At the 5th minute, I will raise the yellow light. At the 6th minute, I will raise the red card. And for most of the speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At the 5th minute, I will raise the green light. At the 6th minute, I will raise the yellow light. At the 7th minute, I will raise the red light. And for one of our speakers, which is Nick Yasmin, she will be having her speech for the special task. So at the 10th minute, I will raise the green light. At the 12 minute, I will raise the yellow light, and at the 14th minute, I will raise the green light. Lastly, for the evaluation, at the 2nd minute, I will raise the green light. At the 2nd minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow light, and the last minute, I will raise the red light. Yeah. Start of the evening.
Thank you, timer Elaine. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the introduction of the major role players. So it's going to anchor this meeting. So ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the very exciting session that is going to be coming up very soon? So ladies and gentlemen, sit tight, build up your confidence, and let's move on to the next session, which is very interesting, and it's called Table Topics. Why is it Table Topics? We're going to listen to our Table Topic Master, who is going to introduce and lead us into this session. Put your hands together to welcome Advanced Toastmaster Khoo Swat Hong, who will be the Table Topic Master. Over to you, Swat Hong.
Thanks, Table Topics Toastmaster of the evening, Vincent. Table Topic session is the most exciting session in our club meeting, and it is actually impromptu speech session. It is a very important skills to learn, especially during job interview. Although we know that sometimes we can prepare ourselves, we can maybe predict what are the questions that they will ask, but somehow or other, you may be surprised with some questions that maybe you couldn't prepare. So this is the opportunity for you to practice your impromptu speech skills. So before we start, let me explain about the timing rules. When you are given a topic, you have 2 minutes to speak on it. We have the timer to assist us in this session. At 1 minute, the timer will put up a green virtual background. At 1.5 minutes, the yellow virtual background. And at 2 minutes, the red virtual background. And to stop speaking at 2.5 minutes. So therefore, I would like to advise you that when you see the red virtual background at 2 minutes, please quickly conclude your speech before the time is up. So you are encouraged to use the word of the day, confidence, in your speech. I have prepared 8 topics on the possible question from your interviewer. So anyone wants to be the first speaker? Let me share my screen. So anyone want to be the first speaker? I prepared 8 topics.
May I try?
Yes, sure. May I know your name, please?
Joshua.
Joshua. Yes. Joshua, which topics do you like to choose from 1 to 8?
I think I'll go with number 4.
4, okay. Let me click. Joshua, the topic given to you is, where do you see yourself 3 years from now? Where do you see yourself 3 years from now? Joshua, over to you.
I remember that I received a form that asked me, where do you want to live 1 to 5 years from now? What kind of job do I want 1 to 5 years from now? And today, I get a question that asks me, where do I see myself 3 years from now? To be frank, I'm not very confident with my own future because I lack concern of my own future. I don't really care what kind of job I get, but as long as I get a job, I'm satisfied. I don't really care of what I want to achieve in my future. And this is very frustrating to me because when I see those around me, some of them already have part-time jobs and they say they like their part-time job and they think they are satisfied with this job. Or they say, I have a goal, I want to be a doctor or an engineer. And I feel envious towards them that they actually have a goal, they have a concern for their own future. They can see where they are 3 years from now. But for me, 3 years from now, the only thing I can see is just me working in my own field as an electrical engineer, but nothing more. So if I want to see myself even further, perhaps not just 3 years, perhaps 9 years, I need to be more concerned of my own future. I need to be more active to find out what is it that I want to be. Do I want to continue being an electrical engineer, or do I want to be an entrepreneur that is in the field of engineer or maybe other fields as well? So at the end of the day, 3 years from now, I'm also quite uncertain and not quite confident where I might end up in. But what I know is that 3 years from now, I'll still continue learning and try my best to find my own goals. Thank you.
Thanks, Joshua, for your sharing. I find that your sharing is very sincere and very humble. Yes. So you are still searching what is your future, that you are, which road that you are going to take. Let's have our second volunteer. Who would like to be the second volunteer? Let me share my screen again. Who want to be my second volunteer to try on the table topics?
I think I will try.
Okay. Yeah, may I know your name, please?
I'm Goy.
Goy, Goy. Goy, which topics you would like to choose? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think I would go with lucky 7.
Okay, good, great. Goy, the topic is, to you, what is an ideal work environment? To you, what is an ideal work environment? Over to you, Goy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us do some simple math. We have 24 hours a day. And how many hours do you spend at work? 8 hours, which means that you will be spending at least a third of your day working, which is why having an ideal work environment is important, because you would be spending a lot of your time there. So to me, I believe that an ideal work environment is an environment where you can work without fear. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that all of us would always strive to do the best thing that we could think of. However, sometimes we might just accidentally make the wrong choices. And of course, we would fear to be scolded or admonished because of those wrong decisions. However, sometimes we need to make those mistakes in order to grow better as a person and a decision maker. So, which is why I believe that a good environment will not penalize you too much on making those wrong decisions. Because sometimes, like me, I'm still a student, and when I graduate, I would have minimal experience when doing certain things. So, would encourage you when you make those wrong choices and decisions, and they go with them. If they're going together with the team, I will be able to grow better as a person, or to the company, and also to the society as a whole. And that's all from me. Back to you.
Thanks, Goy, for your sharing. indeed, a good environment is the environment whereby you are able to voice out your, maybe there are things that not so right, and there's a place that everyone can grow together and learn together. Well said. Let's have our third volunteer.
I would like to volunteer.
Okay, good. Yasmin.
Yeah.
Mana?
Oops. Oh my God.
Okay, maybe this will be your question, Yasmin.
Oh
Yasmin, what do you consider your strengths and weaknesses? What do you consider your strengths and weaknesses? Yasmin, over to you.
In every interview I went to, this question is like a compulsory question to be asked by the interviewer. Can you tell me what are your strengths and weaknesses? Even though I know that this is a compulsory question, the day before the interview, I still don't have an answer for this question. Even though I don't have an answer to this question, I always get feedbacks from my colleagues and from my teammates on what are my strengths and weaknesses. So I think, based on their opinion, I think that my strength is that I'm a patient person. Like, it takes a lot for me to be angry or to be upset. But that strength is also my weakness. When I bottle up all my emotions, one day something small happened at work. And that day is the day that I decide to blow up. And I started to be angry and shout, not shout to everyone, but shouting at myself actually, because I could not control my emotions. Yeah, so I guess that is my strength, and it is also my weakness. It serves like a double-edged sword. So I hope that one day I will be able to control my emotions better so that I will not blow up at work. Back to you.
Thanks, Yasmin, for your sharing. The double-edged sword, the strength together in one on how to control your emotion. Let us have our last volunteer. Anyone to try? Maybe our guest. Let me share the screen again. Who want to grab this last opportunity?
Can I try?
Sure.
But is it okay if I did not open my camera, because I got a little bit problem with my camera?
Oh, okay. Sure. What? May I know your name, please?
My name is Singh. You can call me Singh.
Singh, okay, Singh. What do you want to choose?
Can I choose the table topic of 6?
6, sure. One moment. 6. The topic is if you face a difficult customer who is not satisfied with the service provided, how are you dealing with it? If you face a difficult customer who is not satisfied with the service provided, how are you dealing with it? Over to you, Singh.
All right. based on my own opinions, when you try to operate your own business, if you meet unsatisfied customers, is a very normal situation. Basically, what the unsatisfied customer will do is maybe they will try to make complaint, and they will try to say a lot of unpleasant word to you, and even maybe that unsatisfied customer will shout at the workers, and even the unsatisfied customer will influence the whole circumstances of the working place. But for me, the unsatisfied customers is one of the customers for my business. So what I can do with the unsatisfied customers is, firstly, you need to try to accept their emotion, and then try to understand what is the problem faced by that customer, and try to solve the customer's problem. And after that, try to give the customer some extra, like maybe present or bonus to comfort the customer. And also the one very important thing is you need to try to turn the unsatisfied customer to become a satisfied customer, and even become your loyal customer. You need to always bear in mind, if there is a customer, there's always a chance, no matter the customer is satisfied or not satisfied. Besides that, every customer is a chance for your business, and you need to believe that every customer have the right to express their feeling about your business. But you need to always be confident with what you do. If you believe that what your business provide is actually good for society and even customer, but you just try to make some improvement and stay positive. Maybe the unsatisfied customer will become your loyal customers one day. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Ting, for your very positive approach to turn the unsatisfied customer to be a loyal customer. Well done.
Thank you. Actually, I'm a bit nervous because it's my first time.
Yes. So that's the end of our table topic session. Let us give another round of applause to all the participants. And please vote for the best table topic speaker. Number 1, Joshua Lim. Number 2, Goi. Number 3, Yasmin. Number 4, Sim. Please vote for the best table topic speaker. Okay, we will close the polls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the evening, Vincent.
Thank you, table topic master, advanced Toastmaster, Sohong. Let's give Sohong a big round of applause. Wonderful. For a very interesting table topic session. So now, ladies and gentlemen, that you know, in Toastmasters program, we have a table topic session, sometimes known as impromptu speaking session. Now, this is one skill that is going to be with us with our entire life, because if you are able to speak impromptu without preparation at all, you will go very far in life. In fact, you will go to higher altitude as well. I remember one time when I was a junior executive, when I walked into the building and I entered the lift, the big boss came into the lift And he asked me this question. So you're working in my company right now, right? I say, yes, sir. So what do you think of the company's business for the next 2 years? I was trying to avoid the question by looking everywhere in the environment that I am trapped with him inside the lift. And I have 44 levels to go. So I cannot escape. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in that situation, you have to muster up your confidence and give an answer, because that big boss is waiting for an answer. And because why? You can't escape. You got 44 floors to go. So ladies and gentlemen, that is table topic session. Impromptu speaking skills is very important. And have you voted for your favorite table topic speaker just now? You have done so. Congratulations. Now I'd like to move on to the second session, which is the photo taking session. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, let us put our best smile together for the official photo taking session. And who will be the photographer? Please take cue from here. Right.
I'll take the photo.
Okay, so switch on your camera. Now over to you, Ken.
Sure, thank you, Toastmaster of evening. So I see that there's still 3 persons. So Agnes and Lim Jia, so can you turn on your camera? So I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, so I'll take, in 3, 2, 1, now. Let me save the photo. Okay, one more. In 3, 2, 1, now. Let me save the photo again. Okay, one last one. Funny face. Okay, that's it for the photo. So over to you, Toastmaster, if you think, Vincent.
Thank you, Ken. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we move on, or shall we take a short break before we move on to the speech proper? Okay. I think we can continue. Okay, everybody, are you all right? We continue. Yes, that's good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in every Toastmasters meeting, everybody speaks. And therefore, this is one opportunity where some Toastmasters have already prepared their speeches. Okay, so it takes a lot of courage and confidence to do so. So ladies and gentlemen, later on, when we have all the Toastmasters presenting their speeches, I'd like to encourage everybody to give your utmost attention, undivided attention, so that they will feel good being a speaker. Because one fine day, you will be a speaker and you will be expecting the same attention. So put on our attention and give our attention to the speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, to this evening, we are very privileged to have 4 courageous speakers who will be attempting the various level of the Toastmasters speech program. We have an icebreaker for this evening, and as well as 3 other speakers at different levels in the pathway program. So first of all is a speaker whom we love to watch very, very soon. And before I invite the speaker on stage, I'd like to first invite the evaluator who will be evaluating icebreaker speaker Agnes Wu for her assignment. Let's put our hands together to welcome the evaluator, who is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Leong Oi Wah, to read out the purpose statement of the speech assignment. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Agnes, your speech today, the purpose is for yourself to introduce your good self to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. You have time of 4 to 6 minutes. All the best to you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Oiwa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to open our general evaluator, Christine Teo, to read out the notes to evaluator Oiwa. What do you
Thank you, Vincent. To Oiwa, Agnes is completing her first speech in Toastmaster. The goal of the evaluation is to give the member an effective evaluations on her speech and delivery style. Because the icebreaker is the first project a member completes, you must choose to use only the note section and not the numerical score. Okay, back to you, Vincent.
Thank you, Christine, as a general evaluator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, Agnes Wu will be presenting the icebreaker speech, the very first speech in the Pathway program. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Agnes Wu with the speech title, Introduce Yourself. Introduce yourself, Agnes Wu. Over to you. Please, thank you to Agnes. Agnes, fret not, this is your first speech, so don't worry about that. We will listen to the evaluator later on. So ladies and gentlemen, as a tradition of the Toastmasters practice, for anyone who is presenting an icebreaker speech, may we all practice what has been practiced all this while. Let's give Agnes Wu a standing ovation for her icebreaker speech. Unmute your microphone. Congratulate Agnes Wu for well done speech, well done icebreaker. If it is not convenient to give a standing ovation, you may want to give a round of applause.
Good job, good job.
Congrats, Agnes. Well spoken,
Well
very
again,
confident.
Agnes.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I can, I would like to repeat that again.
Okay, right. Moving on, we have our second speaker who will be attempting the assignment on level 1. We are moving from icebreaker to level 1 gradually. And today we see a very confident young man. I've seen this man, I've seen this guy, and I know he has a lot of magic to show. So ladies and gentlemen, our second speaker I'm going to introduce very soon, who is none other than 𝐿𝐸𝐸. Before I bring him on our stage over here, I'd like to first invite his evaluator who will be evaluating his speech. Let's put your hands together and welcome distinguished Toastmaster Jessica Liu to read out the purpose statement for 𝐿. Jessica, we couldn't hear you.
Jessica, you're muted. Okay, 𝐿, this is for you. This speech project is for you to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Good luck to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jessica Liu. Now I'd like to invite the general evaluator once again, Christine, to read out the notes to the evaluator, to Jessica.
Okay, thank you, Vincent. To Jessica, 𝐿 is completing this project and has spent time researching a topic. He may be speaking about a new topic or a known topic on a deeper level. Thank you. Back to you, Vincent.
Thank you, Christine. Ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned just now that I have watched this young man. And this young man has a lot of magic in his speech. And of course, I'm going to expect the same perhaps this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our next speaker, 𝐿𝐸𝐸, with a speech title, Real Monsters, Real Monsters. 𝐿𝐸𝐸, over to you.
Within every elaborate lie, a kernel of truth. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, my name is 𝐿𝐸𝐸 and I am a research assistant / student at University of Malaya, and my focus is in marine microbiology. So in my field, there are many creatures, and I dare say monsters, that are found in the sea. And these monsters come in many shapes and sizes, but the biggest of them all is known as the Kraken. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Kraken is a really fearsome monster. There were many legends and stories of this creature. I'm going to read out one right here, so you get a grasp of how this beast truly is. By Alfred Lord Tennyson, a poet from 1830, he wrote this. Below the thunders of the upper keep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, his ancient, dreamless, uninvaded sleep, the kraken sleepeth, the faintest sunlight flee. About his shadowy sides, above him swell huge sponges, that wondrous grot and that secret cell, unnumbered enormous polypi, with giant arms and with slumbering green, there hath he lain for ages and will lie, battening upon huge sea worms in his sleep, until the latter fire shall heat the deep. Then, once by men and angels to be seen, in roaring he shall rise again, and on the surface die. This are the dramatization for a marine animal. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of the kraken goes back to 1880, 1180. It started off as a true sailor's story, but the story went on and on. As the story goes, it got more and more exaggerated, it got more and more false, and there are more and more details. Being the amazing kraken, this story lies an elaborate lie, but a kernel of truth. I really like this quote by Marisha Pethel, because this is really true when it comes to scientific communication. Whenever we try our best to communicate an idea, it always seems like there is a kernel of truth in a sea of lie. There are many questionable pseudoscientific sightings, misinformation, use of stories, mythos, and emotion to really capture our imagination. But how real is our imagination? When it comes to the new monsters, real monsters, they come in many shapes and sizes. And these days, this one monster comes in the name of COVID-19. Of course, in the digital era where information is abundant, the same tactics that make stories great in the kraken are still used here today by the COVID-19. Today's monsters are not limited by hearsay, but by digital words. Now, a lot of communication experts, I believe all of us here are somewhat communication experts by our own right. So how can we make sure that information are sent accurately? Many said to not share false news. Many said to not be tricked. Some say you have to stop a liar from spreading false news. Today I'm going to tell you a different spin to it. Instead of stopping a good story, although with not so good intentions, why not tell a better story that is accurate? False news online spreads faster because of its novelty, its excitement, its newness. This is according to a study by Sarosh Vazogi et al. In a 2018 study called The Spread of True and False News Online. They did a 10-year study and found again and again and again in Twitter, in Facebook, in our newsfeed, false news spread faster. And I propose we spread real news, real scientific findings faster than they could. To continue on my story of the Kraken, it is not the end yet. It is in 1853, a young naturalist scientist by the name of Japetus Steenstrup recovered an animal's beak. Its size was huge. Lying on the beaches is a cephalopod, or in science called squid. Here in Malaysia we call it sotong. So this squid is huge, and it was not too long from the poem that I just recited just now, 1830, 23 years later. Real evidence has surfaced, and science started to work. They name it Archaeopteryx, after the name of giant squid, and it was 18 meters in length. Fast forward to 2005, the very first video sighting of this animal has surfaced. However, it is not a huge, gigantic squid. It is a baby. Now comes our main actress by the name of Dr. Edith Mather. She was in the search of this elusive beast that would have been avoiding our detection. We can't get a live specimen or a live body of this legendary kraken. So they tried years and years and years with no success. But Dr. Edith, who is a marine biologist and is an expertise in the oddest of all things, bioluminescence. Why bioluminescence? Because it has something to do with jellyfish. And they found that the squid are attracted somewhat to the light that is emitted by the jellyfish. Then, in 2012, they finally caught it. And not just once, but twice again in 2019. The elusive kraken has finally gotten a face. Now, science can sound boring, but it doesn't have to be so. If you have found something interesting that is factually correct, make an effort to proofread yourself and spread these good news that I am doing to you right now. Real monsters like the kraken, now known as the giant squid, is like COVID-19. If you enjoy these stories and you know they are factual, spread it. This way we will drown those false news. Back to you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Carl another round of applause for bringing on a very interesting session, a speech about his work environment. It's so interesting to delve into his world of employment. Well, in my world of employment, I also meet some real monsters. They are sometimes called lembaga hasil dalam negeri, or the income tax department, or the whatever you want to call it, authority. So ladies and gentlemen, we find it so relatable when we talk about employment. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, to our third speaker for this evening, who is none other than Pauline Ng. Before I introduce Pauline to the podium, let us invite the evaluator for Pauline, who is none other than Itifa, who will be reading out the purpose statement for Pauline. Over to you, Itifa.
Thank you, Vincent, for the introduction. So, Pauline, tonight's speech is for you to develop your method to give an impromptu speech and practice adapting rehearsed stories during a presentation. Good luck to you, Pauline. Back to you, Vincent.
Did we get Itifa?
Yeah, his voice is very small and very soft, but we still can hear it. We crank up volume.
Okay, all right, Itifa, thank you for your reading out of the purpose statement for the benefit of Pauline. Now, I'd like to invite Christine as a general evaluator to read out the notes to Itifa. Over to you, Christine.
Thank you, Vincent. To Itifa, Pauline is completing this speech. It is working to develop a method for delivering effective impromptu speeches and to practice adapting rehearsed story during an impromptu speech. Thank you, and back to you, Vincent.
Thank you, Christine. Ladies and gentlemen, today Pauline Ng is going to attempt her speech in a very interesting and challenging manner, as stated in the meeting, in the manual itself. Now, first, she is going to introduce presenting a speech, which I'm going to select a topic from the list. And later on, there will be a second speech within the same period of time that she will be presenting second time, and it is also the topic which is going to be impromptu. So she has no preparation at all. So ladies and gentlemen, Pauline Ng, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, right. Now I'd like to invite Pauline to the stage. Yes, as stated in the manual, there is something that you need to do a setting. All right. Okay, this is a topic for Pauline to tackle upon. Pauline, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, bear in mind that Pauline has got no knowledge of what the topic which I'm going to throw to her. Pauline, your topic is, you have unexpectedly won an award or other recognition. You are asked to say a few words. Over to you, Pauline.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening. Please allow me to set the stage, receiving an award. So this will be in a management meeting, and suddenly I was presented an award. Timer, I'm ready. Thank you very much for this ABCD award, above and beyond the call of duty. It is indeed a pleasant surprise for me. Although it is a very small event I organized, I'm very grateful for the recognition and appreciation shown by management. I was tasked to organize a dinner event to celebrate the outstanding achievement of the recent sales blitz. The sales blitz was a great success. Wallace from the institutional division scored a big win with a 5-star hotel for total business. So this certainly calls for celebration. I was given 2 dates to play with. However, the sales winner, Wallace, was unable to attend on both dates. The first date clashes with his girlfriend's birthday. He had to travel back to Penang to celebrate with her. The second date was even worse because it is his birthday. Well, I thought that was great. We get to celebrate his birthday with him and also his sales achievement. However, he said, my girlfriend will kill me if she did not get to celebrate my birthday with me. Ladies and gentlemen, when dealing with Gen Y, we have to be a little bit more patient. We have to listen to them, to their opinion, to their ideas. They are looking for a good work-life balance and they value their personal life greatly. So I have to have some conversation with Wallace a few rounds. And I'm glad to say that we finally arrived at a win-win situation where he finally agreed to attend our celebration dinner after all. So once again, thank you to management team for your support to enable me to confidently manage this event. And not forgetting my two assistants, Juliana and Yan, for their tireless effort and hard work to ensure everything runs smoothly. The ABCD award is a good way to thank staff. It will certainly motivate me and my team to perform better. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Well done, Pauline. Now, don't go away. Now you have a second speech to fulfill. Okay? Right. Pauline, are you ready for your second speech?
All right.
Okay. So let me see which question is the longest. Found one. Okay, Pauline, listen very carefully. There is a sudden thunderstorm at a picnic for a large family reunion. Everyone is stuck in the gazebo, and you have decided to speak for a few minutes to entertain the group while the rain passes. Over to you, Pauline.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Since we are stuck in a gazebo, I would like to take a seat. And again, I would like to set the seat. Some of my nieces and nephews present have graduated or just about to graduate. Right. Timer, I'm ready. My niece Siling asks, Cuckoo, can you share some interesting and funny stories of your interviews? I look at her and say, Siling, whenever you go for interview, your mom is very excited. In fact, she's more excited than you. If given the chance, I think she would like to sit in the interview together with you. Am I right? So this story is especially for your mommy and to all you parents and job seekers. Once in the blue moon, I do receive calls from mothers inquiring about the positions that we advertise. They like to know about the nature of the job, the salary, the working hours. Is it regular hours or are the hours long and irregular? Would overtime be paid? Can their children refuse overtime? And sometimes, even after an offer has been made, there were calls from candidate's mother trying to renegotiate the salary offer. They feel that their child deserves more as they have a degree, a diploma, or some certificate, or even some relevant experiences. So how do I handle such helicopter parents? I would tell them politely to please inform their children to call me directly if they have any questions or concern. And sometimes these parents insist on continuing the conversation. My child is so fresh from uni, from college or school. They don't know how to ask or what to ask. Or even like they are shy or they're not asked. I'm only trying to find out more information for them on their behalf so as not to waste HR's time. Wasting my time, she said. So who is wasting whose time? Anyway, again, I have to politely and very patiently inform them to please communicate with your own children and have your children call me personally. HR will speak only to the candidates on such matters and not to family members. So to all you parents, a reminder not to get involved in your children's job search process. Let your children be confident and independent. Let them learn to fend for themselves. If family members insist in getting involved, it might even jeopardize their children's chances of getting that job, especially if HR has got many choices, a lot to choose from. Siling, I see your mommy is laughing. This is no laughing matter. All right, the rain has stopped. So let us go out and enjoy our picnic. Come on, guys. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Pauline. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Pauline a big round of applause. Wow. I think personally, I will not attempt this manual. But then it is one of the more challenging assignments that will really make our brain think fast and speak accordingly. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a true test of impromptu speaking. Congratulations once again, Pauline, for sharing with us your speech assignment. on this. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, this evening we have our fourth speaker who has prepared her speech assignment, days and nights. Ladies and gentlemen, 𝐀𝐻𝐻𝐿 will be next. And before I invite 𝐀𝐻𝐻𝐿 on stage, can I have the pleasure to invite Toastmaster Goy, who will be reading the purpose statement for 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐿. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vincent. So Toastmaster Nick, the purpose of this project is for you to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when you are presenting outside of the Toastmasters Club. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Goy. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'd like to invite General Evaluator Christine once again to read out the notes to Evaluator Goy. Over to you, Christine.
Thank you. Hi, Goy. During the completion of this project, Yasmin has spent time learning how to manage a difficult audience member during a presentation. Back to you, Vincent.
Thank you, Christine. Managing a difficult audience. What do you think of this? This is a very interesting session. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be mesmerized by our speaker, 𝐀𝐻𝐻𝐿, who will be attempting the speech with the speech title, Turning 29. Turning 29, 𝐀𝐻𝐻𝐿. Over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin my talk, please be informed that for tonight's session, we can interact with each other using the chat box that you can access to using your mobile phone. If you have any questions or if you want to say anything at all, you may use the chat box. And I will address the questions at the end of my session, or maybe after my session. Ladies and gentlemen, the month of November is very special to me. Why? Because it's my birthday month, and this year I will be turning 29. So that's like about a year to go before I actually turn 30. To many people in the world, turning 30 is a big milestone. And for those who have yet to reach 30, for example, like students, you may feel like you want to do everything in the world before you turn 30. Like you want to learn a new language, you want to take your driving license, everything you want to do before you turn 30. While those who are 30 and beyond, I'm sure you have felt the same way too. I'm not sure about you, but especially those who were born in the 90s, I'm sure you are feeling very dreadful and fear to turn 30. The other day, my colleague asked me, Yasmin, how old are you this year? How old am I? Honestly, I stopped counting after I turned 25. Between 25 and 30, there's nothing in between. After 25, I'm 30 straight away. And I never thought that I would feel this way, like making a big deal out of turning 30. But I do feel the anxiety of turning 30. I still remember 10 years ago, I have three main things that I want to achieve before I turn 30. First is to get a decent job with decent pay. And I felt like I need to have that decent pay to get everything that I want in life. Everything that I can buy, I want to buy. But now I'm 25. I have to admit, I do have a decent job. Do I have a decent pay? I wonder. But that decent pay cannot make me have the ability to actually buy the things that I want. But I can actually buy the things that I need. Wow, I see a lot of chats going on. I will read them later, all right? So what I'm trying to say is, I may not have everything now, but is it necessary to have everything before I turn 30? It's fine. I still have 1 year to go, right? Before I turn 30. The second thing that I want, I think most of you here can relate to this. I wanted to get married before I turned 30. In fact, I told myself I wanted to get married with my boyfriend after I graduated from university, like 25 years old. I wanted to settle down. I wanted to have kids and what else? A lot of things that I want in a relationship. And I felt like the society actually tells us this is the standard age to get married, like before 30. 25 to 30, perfect age to get married.
But don't forget, don't forget, behind every downfall of a woman is a man.
Sorry, I know who is that?
Behind the downfall of a woman is a man. Behind the downfall of a successful woman is a man. A lot of times. So don't rush into it, okay?
May I know why you say so, Miss Jessica?
Because I have read about it. A lot of successful women, a very good example is Bridget Lai, former CEO of Standard Chartered Bank and Alliance Bank. Okay, if you read the story, you will know the downfall as the CEO.
I'll second her on that.
Thank you for sharing, Jessica.
There are a few others that now got no time to tell you, but that is a major one because she's so public.
Thank you so much. May I know who was speaking just now? Oh, okay. I couldn't hear her already. It's all right. Let's move on to my speech, all right? So currently, like, I have received all this pressure to get married, right? But I have no one to get married to. I only have like celebrity crushes and anime boyfriends. But it's fine. I still have 1 more year to go, right? And the last thing that I want to do before I turn 30. You want to guess what it is? It's actually, I wanted to do bungee jumping or skydiving. Oh, meet Yuzuru. All right, okay. Yeah, I wanted to do the commercial extreme sports before I turned 30. But honestly, I didn't know why I wanted to do that, all those things before I turned 30. Is it because after you turn 30, you are considered old? That you are unfit to do all these extreme activities? Am I going to die after 30? Touch wood. Let's hope not, right? So,
No, Yasmin, you shouldn't do bungee jumping. That's too risky.
I know who's that?
No. Yeah, shouldn't do bungee jumping. That's too risky.
Why do you say so, Miss Oiwa? Why is it
it's not something that you would do in Malaysia, okay? No bungee jumping in Malaysia because I don't trust the safety quality in Malaysia itself.
I disagree with you, Oiwa. I think Yasmin should just go and do the bungee jump, take the plunge with the boyfriend.
Oh, all right. May I know who said that? Lacey. Wow.
You should do it.
Okay.
Yasmin, if you don't want to try bungee jumping, you can try the skywalk at Komta. Still cheap and I think quite safe.
Quite safe.
Yeah, I tried that with my daughter. 2019.
Thank you, Ms. Eun, for your suggestion. If you have any more suggestions that for me to do,
just do it.
Friends or my family or my future boyfriend, you may suggest in the chat box. All right. So thank you, Ms. Oyua, for your comment just now. Yeah, I actually agree with you that we shouldn't do bungee jumping in Malaysia. That's why I actually wanted to say just now in my speech that I actually planned to go to New Zealand last year. So my plan was disrupted by none other than Mr. COVID. So I feel a bit disappointed and a bit upset that I couldn't cut that off from my bucket list before I turned 30. But it's okay. I'm just 29, right? I still have 1 more year to go. So turning 29 got me thinking, why do I need to achieve all those things before I turn 30? Why should I rush when I'm actually happy with my current progression and also my current achievement? I'm actually feeling like, so what? Age is just a number, right? 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. Heck, I can even go bungee jumping when I'm 50 years old. But of course, I may need to sign some declaration saying that I'm fit and I will not, sue them or do anything bad when I'm doing that activity. Thinking about the future actually makes me feel very anxious.
Yes, Nazira, I feel so scared about my future. Everyone younger than me is so successful except me. I'm old.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, Amira.
Hi. Would you like to share more with us about what do you feel growing older?
I feel scared because there are more successful people that are younger than me, while I'm not as successful as them.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I do feel that way sometimes when I see other people, like they already have a house, they already have a car, like Nazira over there, she already have a boyfriend and she left me alone. I felt like, am I missing out on this? Like, I'm turning 30 next year and I still don't have most of the things that my friends have. So I do feel you, Miss Amira, but I have one advice for you and also for myself and for everyone here tonight. Thinking about the future makes us feel very anxious due to the uncertainties, right? So why think about the future? We should live in the present, the current present. And I think there was a saying, the art of life is actually to live in the present. Age is just a number. So ladies and gentlemen, it's never too late to start something new. It's never too late to start over. Doing things that you always do, you redo again, you relearn. And most importantly, it's never too late to do the things that make you feel happy in life. Doesn't matter if you want to go bungee jumping, skydiving, or getting married. You can do everything in your life as long as you work with it. That's all from me. Back to you. Those my
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give Yasmin a big round of applause. Wonderful speech. If you were still wondering what happened just now for the past 13 minutes, Yasmin is actually presenting a speech assignment, and it's not an easy speech assignment because the assignment itself calls for managing difficult audience. And in the audience among us, if you didn't realize, there were 4 interrupters or disruptors throughout the entire speech. And they are called the talker, the interrupter, the chatterer, and as well as the arguer. So ladies and gentlemen, it happens in life and sometimes in our professional arena as well. When we are doing our presentation, when we are talking, or even in small chats among your colleagues, anywhere at all, there will be people who will be just disrupting you or disturbing you. And this calls for good communication skill so that you'll be able to handle this situation very well enough. And better still, if you can handle the people professionally. So Toastmasters give you this arena and this practice platform so that you will present your speech in a friendly environment so that the moment you face the real environment out there, you will not make the same mistake again. So that's the beauty of Toastmasters International Program, brought to you by the Toastmasters International Organization, and it's everywhere around the world. For you who have not experienced this before, you may consider pick a club and join its membership so that you too can benefit the same advantages that we have shown in our speaker this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, congratulations to our icebreaker, Agnes Wu, who has braved herself to speak in front of an audience with her already good speaking skills. And I'm sure Agnes will enhance even further. Our Carl Young, who is presenting a very technical presentation. I really don't understand what is Kraken until when I listen to his speech. Very well indeed. And it's very interesting way of how he can tell story and connect with the audience. Pauline showing us the variety and the vast skills of public speaking, impromptu speaking in different situations, so that you're not caught awkward and you know how to carry yourself throughout. And of course, just now we have seen Yasmin. So ladies and gentlemen, you have seen your favorite speaker. Now let's give our justice to vote for our favorite speaker for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Zoom Master, please present the option to vote for your favorite speaker for this evening. Won't take long. Okay, done. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have voted for our best speaker or favorite speaker, now is the segment I like to sign off temporarily because I have another very dynamic person who is going to anchor the second half of the meeting. And let's put our hands together and welcome General Evaluator Christine Teo. Over to you, Christine.
Okay, thank you, Vincent. You can have your little short break now. Okay, also time is passing and I shall just go straight into the evaluation section. Can I invite Min Kang for the table topic evaluation? Min Kang, the stage is yours.
You hear me?
Yep.
Good evening, fellow guests and fellow Toastmasters. Here's my evaluation report for table topic speakers. Today's meeting, we have four table topic speakers who were Toastmaster Joshua, Toastmaster Guai, Toastmaster Yasmin, and guest Sin. So since three of them are Toastmaster, I will focus more on and they are very experienced Toastmaster, I will focus more to the technical point. So I will give my evaluation one by one, a good and an improvement point for each of the speaker. The first one is Joshua. Joshua talk about what will he see in 3 years from now. And the first thing I feel from Joshua's speech was his voice is very comfortable. After listening to his voice, you would like to listen more. You wouldn't want him to stop. So that's one good point I think about Joshua, that since he talked about something a little bit emotional, and at the end of his speech, he's repeat again 3 years from now. maybe I won't be as successful as I would like to. 3 years from now, I will try to work harder. 3 years from now, that repetition really brings his speech to a better position in order to give some impression to the audiences. So one improvement I will give Joshua is to, okay, when you talk about 3 years from now, maybe you may want to give more examples of how other people affect you, or how you are, which position you are in other people's places. Okay, so not just like you alone, but also from other people's perspectives, and maybe a little bit more positive when you talk about 3 years from now. A little less depressing would be good, but otherwise he really did a good job in table topics. The structure is there, the delivery is there, and all good. So second speaker was Guai, also an experienced Toastmaster. The first thing about Guai is he speak very confidently, very sound and very factual. He's like a person who like to speak about fact, all things fact and fact. So one suggestion I'll give Guai to put a little bit more emotion. What do I mean by emotion is I noticed that you stress basically every 2 words or every words. So for example, you stress every 2 words or every words. So maybe you can try to make it a little bit more lively, more natural, like you speak a little bit, you sound a little bit rough. You sound a little bit, you stress every few words, you stress few words instead of you stress every single word. So a little bit fast paced, a little bit slow paced will bring your speech to a next level. So the next one is Toastmaster Yasmin. Toastmaster Yasmin talked about the favorite question we were being asked in interviews, weaknesses and strengths. So when I noticed Toastmaster Yasmin actually start her own weaknesses and strengths from 1 minute. So in the first 1 minute, she talked about all those things that we already know, like this question being asked in interview or what. So I would suggest Toastmaster Yasmin to spend that 2 minutes fully onto answering the questions. Because when you are giving a position, like you want to pitch audiences in just 2 minutes, right? You don't want to talk, or you just want to talk about the important things that your audience wanted. You want to talk about the things that you wanted to give to your audience. So I would suggest that instead of explaining about weaknesses and strengths, maybe you straight away start talking about your weaknesses and your personal story and how that weaknesses or strengths even affect you in your life. So that's my only advice to you. Instead of starting from 1 minute talking of targeting the questions, you may target the question right away when you speak. And the last one is guest Sin. Also from Sin's speech, I noticed that she starts after 1 minute to actually answering the questions. Right, so again, the same advice I will give to Sin as Yasmin is, in just 2 minutes, think about what you wanted the audiences to know. Okay, what do you think the audiences will get in just that 2 minutes? You wanted to really utilize those 2 minutes. So I would suggest try to straight answering the questions. A little bit introduction is good, but not 1 minute. 1 minute is already half of the 2 minutes already. So yes, I think that's all from my evaluation. It's very hard to do this because I know 3 of them are experienced Toastmaster. 1 is also a good guest, and I try to think of the way that could help them better. But other than that, they all did very good in table topics. Not much complaint. It's all good. Thank you so much, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, thank you, Minka, and I believe all the table topic speakers has benefit from your evaluations. Next, let me invite Oiwa for the evaluation of Agnes. Oiwa, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Agnes Wu, this is my evaluation for the icebreaker that you have given. Certainly, it was an icebreaker different from every other icebreaker that I've heard before. Most people start off with, my name is Agnes Wu, and they go through the history, the family history itself. But Agnes today gave us something different. She gave us what she feared the most. And she linked it with the Toastmaster of the evening's introduction itself. The anxiety, that anxiety of public speaking was her biggest fear. If you have listened to her speech, you know exactly why she fears public speaking itself. There was a lot of sincerity in her speech. And what I like about the manner she delivered her speech itself, her pace of delivery was exactly like watching Miss Bianca of The Rescuers, the Walt Disney animation movie. I don't know whether you remember Miss Bianca, but to me, whenever there's an elegant lady around, that, Agnes, you proved it. You showed us why you say public speaking is your greatest fear. But at the same time, you told us how you conquered that public speaking fear itself. I thought that was fantastic. There was clarity in what you wanted to tell us, and you told us what you wanted to tell us. And at the end, you gave us, just 1 minute before your ending, you told us your name, where you come from, what you are doing in University Malaya. And that kind of got me excited. I want to listen more from this lady because she has so many things to tell me more. You fully engaged all of us. And like I started, this is an icebreaker I've never seen before. Kudos to you. The only thing I want to challenge you is expand. You had another minute. You could have told us more about yourself. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Oiwa. I really liked your clear tone of your voice that you have gave a very good evaluation on Agnes. And let me move on to the second speaker evaluator, Jessica. The stage is yours.
Okay, Carl. This is my personal evaluation without any prejudice. This is one speech, one scientific. This is the first time I'm evaluating a scientific speech. So when you open your speech and you talk about this kraken, in my mind, it straight away brought me to the show every time I watch every week. Now no more already. It's called Fish Tank. If you study marine biology, you would have watched Fish Tank and enjoyed all the series about Fish Tank. They only got 2 seasons and that's it. Because they talk about all the marine life and all that. But then now you come in and tell us about this monster, this sea monster called kraken, which I've never heard of. At first, I didn't know what was the kraken until I saw the background picture. So it was a good idea to put that picture behind you. So while you were talking, I was figuring out what is it. Finally, I got it before you told us that it is actually a giant squid. So the research, I must give you a recognition that you have done a lot of research on this thing called kraken. And from what I know is that they used to stay, the krakens normally, it is a legend that says that they stay mostly in the Norwegian region and the Icelandic region. And those days they used to terrorize those sailors. Those days, I'm not sure about now. So I do know a little bit about it. Yeah, because I love it. But the way you put it, and of course, you recited a poem regarding this, the research that you have done. And I can see that I'm not an accountant today, but I can detect that there is no pause fillers. You speak very fluently. The vocal variety is there, very clear. And the way you speak is like a commentator, talking about this kraken, this real monster, the sea monster. The way you talk is like a commentator. I think you should go into television. Very well articulated. The gestures were there at the right place and the right timing. and then you create an awareness. Awareness in short that you use a technical word called kraken, but actually it is a giant squid. So you keep us in suspense. Of course, before the halfway of the speech, I already knew what a kraken was already. It's just I didn't know it was called a kraken. Yeah, I didn't know that it is called to me it is called a giant squid. So it is a well researched, and you manage to quote all the what they call the writers or whatever. The people who are in research on this topic. So all in all, I think this speech is very well rehearsed and researched by you. Like I said, you can be a TV commentator. However, but when the second part, not the same second part, maybe 20% of your speech, you were trying to connect the Kraken story to the COVID-19. I thought that was a bit brief. Maybe you should give it more, talk more about the correlation between the Kraken and the COVID-19, because I feel that it is only 20% and it is not enough. So some people may not be able to connect that issue. I think that is something that you should work on. So, and I want to mention that I challenge you in the future to give a more balanced comparison or connection between one item to the next. All in all, well done and enjoy your speech. You speak very well, very good English. Please proceed to your next speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. It's a very informative evaluation on Carl. Next, can I have Iktifa to have his evaluation on Pauline? Iktifa, the stage is yours.
I would like to stress that I'm a technical person, so my evaluation will be very technical.
Iktifa, maybe you want to speak louder or place your mic nearer, because your voice is too soft. Okay.
Can you hear me now? I'm using earbud, so I cannot change the position.
Maybe could you try like turning off your earpiece? Maybe that's the reason.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So before I start, I would like to say that I'm going to evaluate more on the technical side of the speech, because I think I did a good job of tackling the two scenarios given by Vincent. So I think for the speech that you are given first is the formal speech, and also second is the informal speech. I like the way that you tackle the formal speech, good approach of doing it. I didn't know that Wallace is such a pain in the ass that he's so important. He put his girlfriend first. But again, in Pauline, for your speech, right, you did covered all the base, the purpose of the award, the challenges you had, the recognition. Just need to commend you in your first part of in your formal speech. I think you overuse your hand gestures, because I think there's a lot of movement without no purpose. In your second speech, you did a good job of like setting the mood that is in your gazebo with your family and all that. But then I would like to improve your speech better, right? Since it's an informal speech, maybe you can use sentences like, girl, you know your mama, she's so excited to see you going for interview leh. Hey sister, can you not become a helicopter mom or not? Let our girl manage her life lah. Later when she goes dating, right, you go and date the guy with her lah. So like if you use this informal approach, right, it's much more relatable, because it will be like in informal settings. And I think all in all, you did great nailing the two speeches given, and you had a very good mastery of English. And also you highlighted the points in your speech with tones. There's like you use high tones and low tones to highlight certain points and certain message that you want to relay to the audience. In all, it was a good speech, and I hope to hear more from you in the future. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Iktifa, for the very technical evaluations. And lastly, can I have Goy for his evaluation on Yasmin? Goy, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Am I audible? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be focusing more on the audience handling part of Toastmaster Yasmin, since that's the purpose of her project. So, Toastmaster Yasmin has shared about her experience turning 29. And I can see that turning 29 really trains her a lot on how to deal with difficult audience. I can see that she has accumulated a lot of experience when she grew to become 29 years old. Let me tell you why. First thing first, Toastmasters Yasmin, she is very calm and composed when dealing with the difficult audience and also the interruptions. When there is an interruption, she would always ask for the identity and the reason for the interruption from the audience before politely replying them. So I believe that by doing so, she is giving the impression that she cares about the audience and particularly the interrupters. So it would make them feel respected, and therefore it would be more likely to calm them down when she replied to them. So I think that's a very good thing. And also, I noticed that when she was talking with Toastmaster 𝐶𝐻 about the bungee jumping when she interrupted, I find that it is very nice for her to turn that interruption into an interaction with her. So I find that by doing so, she managed to diffuse the tense situation whereby the two guests were arguing into a fun and lively discussion, which I believe that it was very nicely done. And also, I found that Toastmaster Yasmin emphasized on the message, age is just a number, many times during her speech. By doing so, I believe that she managed to remind the audience of the central idea of her speech every now and then. So by doing so, she managed to keep all of us audience to stay on the same page and therefore prevent us from making any unnecessary outbursts. So that is another plus for me. So some rooms of improvements which I might suggest is that Toastmaster Yasmin, she speaks with confidence. However, sometimes she will look sideways to sort of think for an answer. So even though the speaking part is very confident, however, doing this action might actually suggest otherwise. So I would suggest that when addressing this kind of questions, so you can try to keep the audience knows that you are replying with confidence. And it will prevent some challenges from challenging you too often. And another thing is that Toastmasters Yasmin, she did mention that she would address the questions in the chat box in the beginning. However, in the end, she didn't really address all of the questions in the chat box. So I think that some of the guests might find it uncomfortable because their questions were not addressed. So I believe that if it was promised, then it's better to address all those questions in the end. But all in all, I find it's a very good speech. So yeah, that's a very good job. So back to you.
Thank you, God. A very thoughtful event. Okay, next, let me move on to our reports. Can I have Grammarian Oiwa for his Grammarian report? Oiwa,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be evaluating the first half of the segment, and I'm actually assisted by Swat Hong for the second half. In the first half of the segment itself, the word confidence was used by Yasmin 3 times, Vincent 3 times, Joshua Lim used the word confident, Goy used it once, Singh used it once, and Agnes also used it once. Good usage. This is from Joshua. Be more concerned of my own future. That really emphasized it. Goy used this term scolded or admonish. Now, not many people use the word admonish because it's very old-fashioned English. So I'm kind of surprised that Goy used it. Swat Hong said, grow together, learn together. Yasmin used the idiom double-edged sword to assimilate to her strength and weakness. Sing used every customer, even a nasty customer, can become your loyal customer. She used the word customers itself in a triad, was very well done. She also had another phrase where there is a customer, there is a chance for business. So for you businessmen, listen to Sing, okay? Carl has this very phrase: within every elaborate lie, a kernel of truth. Pauline Ng, work-life balance. Yasmin, turning 30 is just a milestone. In terms of the usage of English in the first half of today's meeting, very good. I think there were no bad usage of the language, only perhaps one articulation. This could be because of your background. See, you use the word unpleasant. Actually, it should be pronounced as unpleasant. That's all I have. Maybe I can just pass to Swat Hong for the second half. Over to you, Swat Hong.
Thanks, Oiwa. The word of the day, confidence, was used by Agnes Wu once, Pauline Ng twice, Ning Kang once, Goy once. Good usage of sentences. Agnes Wu, sense of confidence, sense of humor. Carl Yang, capture our imagination. A huge, gigantic squid. Spread the factual, correct news, drown the false news. Pauline Ng, good work-life balance. Arrive win-win situation. Tireless effort and hard work. Nick Yasmin, turning 30 is a big milestone. Age is just a number. Live in the present. It is never too late to start something new. For grammatical errors, after I graduate should be after I graduated. His voice is very comforting. Suggested to change to his voice was so soothing. A little bit fast, a little bit slow. Maybe you may want to say speak a little bit faster, then a little bit slower. Straight answering the question, suggested to change to go straight into answering the questions. That's all from me. Back to the general evaluator.
Okay, thank you, Oiwa and Swat Hong. Thank you for taking up 2 roles as well. Well done. And next, can I have our counter Resmi for your report? Resmi, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm going to present my counter report. Here, Toastmaster condemned. I didn't find any filler words, filler sound, or inappropriate words. Toastmaster Yasmin, I found, sorry, I found 4 filler words and repeated words 2, total 6. And Toastmaster Vincent, I didn't find any filler sound. Toastmaster Home, I found only 2 filler sound. Toastmaster Aileen, I found only one repeated words. Toastmaster Oiho, I found only one filler sound. Toastmaster polling, I found 3 filler sound only. Zin, I found 8 filler sound and repeated words but for 4 times, and in inappropriate interjunction and for 2 times. Toastmaster Joshua, I found only 1 filler sound. Toastmaster Jessica Liu, I didn't find any filler sound or inappropriate words. Toastmaster I found 5 filler sound, only 5 only. Toastmaster Kale, I didn't find any filler sound. Toastmaster Goy, I found only 1 interjunction, once only that repeated, that only once only. Toastmaster Lacey, I didn't find anything. Toastmaster Itifa, I found 4 filler sound and repeated interjunction, but 2 times only. And Toastmaster Amira, I didn't find any filler sounds. Toastmaster Christine, I found only 2 filler sounds. Toastmaster Mingang, only 4 filler sound. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rasmi, for this is a very detailed report. The first time I saw this. Okay, without further, let me have our last report timer. Stage is yours.
Okay, thanks, General Evaluator. Give me a moment to share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, so this is my timer report. First of all, most of Toastmasters did not overspend or underspend their time limit. So except for Vincent Ho, you exceeded 3 seconds. And for Sin, you're supposed to finish your speech within 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you overspent 28 seconds. And moving on, 𝐀𝐚𝐚𝐿, your time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes and you overspent 32 seconds. And lastly is for the project speech evaluation, Jessica Liu, time allocated is 2 to 3 minutes and overspent for 5 seconds. Iktifa, having time allocated is 2 to 3 minutes and you underspent for only 2 seconds. Yeah, so I think that's all for my timer report. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Elaine. Did I mention about vote for the best evaluator? Did I miss out? Zoom Master, did I?
I think I missed it.
Oh yes,
Zoom Master can put out the poll.
I'll launch the poll right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, okay, let me give my final report. First of all, thank you for inviting me to become a GA for today, and thank you for Mingang for inviting me. Really learning MAICSA and club meeting, joint club meeting. Firstly, I really love the atmosphere, even though we are in virtual. I think I'll enter the meeting earlier just now and I feel very welcome and was greeted and it's a very friendly environment, and surprisingly, a virtual background was provided as well. This is my first time having a meeting like this, and it was so well prepared. And moving on, during the meeting, the agenda, it was very clearly stated for both meetings. All the club EXO was stated, and both club was stated, and the information was stated in the agenda. In the table topic session, the rules are clearly introduced by all the role players, and also a great job to all the evaluators that has bring up the best for all the speakers. And one area to improve is on, maybe you can use more on the chat box, like to interact with everyone. You can say, oh, how is everyone today? Type 1 if you're happy, type 2 if you're not happy. I think everyone will type in there and you'll see your chat box. Wow, you'll be happy to see all the number that people are responding to you. And lastly, some word of encouragement. I know that some of you are students. One thing I want to share is that in my last speech, I say something like, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be angry sometimes, and it's okay to be fear or to be anxious, but it will not be okay if you stay at the same place and not moving on. So even if you're in fear, just take that little step. A little step can bring a lot of difference in your life. And that's all from me for my general evaluation report. Now I shall pass back the stage to Vincent. You need to take over.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Christine. Let's give Christine Teo a big round of applause. Our general evaluator for the joint meeting. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. And now, I shall not be taking too much time. Let's go to the event proper, the announcement or presentation of awards. Can I invite one of the presidents to join me on stage online over here to present the award? First of all is the Best Table Topic Speaker Award. And the winner for this evening for the Best Table Topic Speaker is none other than Toastmaster Goy. Let's give Goy a big round of applause. And cheers to Goy. Well done, well done. This will be encouragement for you to speak more. Can we have a photo for Goy with this award?
The master.
Yeah, sure. Mika, can you help take it because I'm sharing screen? I couldn't pick it up.
So Toastmaster Goy, in the count of, I couldn't see you. Let me check. Toastmaster Goy, where are you? Oh, here you are, wearing blue color shirt. Okay, in the count of 3, 2, 1, smile. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next award that we're going to present is the Best Speaker Award for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls please for the Best Speaker Award. And it goes to Toastmaster Agnes Boo. Congratulations, Agnes.
Congratulations. All right, in the count of 3, 2, 1, smile. Right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minka. Ladies and gentlemen, next is the Best Evaluator Award. And this award goes to Iktifa. Congratulations, Iktifa.
Toastmaster Iktifa, in the count of 3, here, finding you. All right, in the count of 3, 2, 1. All right, done.
Thank you and congratulations to Iktifa for the Best Evaluator Award. Ladies and gentlemen, we also like to record our appreciation to our general evaluator who has graciously anchored the second half of the meeting while I was taking a break just now. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hand and once again congratulate our general evaluator, 𝐶𝐚𝐚𝐿.
In the count of 3, 2, 1. Done. All right.
Thank you, Minka. Thank you, Christine. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have enjoyed this meeting as much as I did, and I really look forward to every Toastmasters meeting. In fact, it has been many years, and the learning never stops. So ladies and gentlemen, especially our dear young leaders who is going to brave yourself into the world of employment out there. Yeah. Learn as much as you can right now, because these will be your tools and trade that you're going to use for your venture. And for those who are already in employment, maybe you're looking for re-employment or redeployment. So maybe you can find something that you hope that everybody benefited in this meeting. Signing off as your general, so your Toastmaster of the evening. And then I hand over the control to the President's closing address. Over to you, 𝐾𝐚𝐿.
So thank you, Toastmaster of evening, Vincent. So now is the final part of today's meeting, which is the closing address by the presiding officer. So let me, okay. So am I audible? Yes, okay, cool. Leaders, distinguished Toastmaster and guests, thank you for joining us today. I'm honored to have the opportunity to have a joint meeting with our distinguished counterparts, MAICSA Toastmaster Club. I want to thank all the role players from MAICSA Toastmaster Club and University Malaya Toastmaster Club for making this meeting possible and running smoothly. I want to thank all the speakers and evaluators for your wonderful speeches and great insights and feedback. A special thanks to our general evaluators for today's meeting, Toastmaster Christine, for the feedback and evaluation of the meeting conduct. And finally, I want to thank all the guests and non-Toastmaster participants. Thank you for joining today's meeting, and I hope that you have a wonderful time here with us. Today's meeting theme is special, as a theme is something for you to think about. The theme for today's meeting is preparing students for employment. You just recall back the opening speech. So what are the most important skills that students need to prepare for the 21st century workforce? And more importantly, how can we help them to gain these competencies? And the reality right now is working in silos is counterproductive for adulthood. Nearly all jobs now are a team effort. Employers want people who understand how to manage a project, how to deliver a product on time and on budget, and how to work in a team with little or no oversight. And by getting involved in a team, you can achieve more and cooperate for better results. And in fact, in the workplace, it's not just about getting to the right end, but getting there by the best path. This is something that can be reinforced between students by giving them context for decision-making and solving problems. The modern workplace requires innovation, creativity, and the ability to look at a task and not only see the outcome, but also imagine different ways to achieve it. And one of my favorite apps, Notion, its founder mission is to let people customize technology to solve problems. And its user can use the tool to design anything from scratch to overcome their daily problems. And honestly, that requires creativity, innovation, and thinking outside the box to have your own unique way of dealing with problems by using the existing tool at hand. But more importantly, you also get to share your methods to people to inspire them to look things from different perspectives. And that is what is truly remarkable and needed right now. Great teamwork and complex thinking abilities. I hope we can start to equip ourselves with all the necessary skills from now to prepare for the workplace of tomorrow. And with that, I call the meeting to a close. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. And now we move on to the